Hello, welcome to Mr. B's Ukulele channel. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy watching. This is my tutorial for Elvis Presley's Suspicious Minds, and this one is a level 3 song, so there's a few different chords there, but nothing difficult to worry about, so it's quite an easy one to learn. And we'll have a quick look at the chords, we'll have a look at the strumming. There's two different strumming patterns, but nothing complicated in that either, and then we'll do a bit of a walkthrough and a quick demo at the end. Okay, here we go, let's get into it. So we've got 6 different chords, and they're all relatively easy ones to play. So I'll just play them in the order that they come up in the song. We've got the C, we've got the F, we've got the G, we've got the G7, and we've got the E minor and the A minor. So I'll just talk very quickly through those chords in case we've got any beginners or new players watching who just want a little bit of help with those. So for our C chord, it's our third finger on the 3rd fret on the A string there. And do make sure we always play it with our 3rd finger. It's a good habit to have your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, and 1st finger on the 1st fret always, and not to be moving your fingers up and down if you can help it. Okay, for the 2nd chord we've got our F. And again, we've got our 1st and 2nd fingers on the 1st and 2nd frets there. 1st finger on the E string there, and 2nd finger on the G string on the top for the F chord. Then we've got our G chord with our 3 fingers. Our 1st and 2nd fingers on the 2nd fret there on the A string. Our 1st finger on the A string on the bottom there. Our 2nd finger on the C string near the top, and our 3rd finger at the side on the E string. And I really do recommend that positioning of the fingers. I find that really quite a comfortable way of playing the G string, so G chord. Some people play it differently, but I think that's the most comfortable and easy to find positioning there. That's the G. Then we've also got the G7. And the G and the G7 are pretty interchangeable in this song, so if you do one by mistake instead of the other, it really doesn't matter. But there is a subtle difference between the two, so they are used differently in different parts of the song. The G7 is our 1st finger on the 1st fret on the E string, and our 2nd and 3rd finger this time on the C and the A strings on the 2nd fret there. Just have a quick look at the diagram to make sure your fingers are in the right place for the G7. And then we've got our 2 minor chords. The easy one first, the A minor, which is just our 2nd finger at the 2nd fret on the top string there, on the G string. And then the slightly more challenging chord, the E minor, which I've always found quite easy to play. It's one of the first chords I learnt with Over the Rainbow, I think it was. But here we've got the E minor, 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th frets. And just look at the positioning. Starts with your 1st finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger one above it on the 3rd fret on the E string, and 3rd finger on the 4th fret there on the C string. And just as a nice little visual reference point, you can look down and you can see your fingers in a diagonal line there, starting on that A string and moving upwards. So that's quite a nice easy visual check that you've got your fingers in the right place on the E minor. So those are the chords, nothing too challenging there, just make sure you're comfortable with all of those. Okay, next up we've got our strumming patterns. Now we're doing 2 strumming patterns for this one. If I play it on a C, it's going to be like this. And that's all you've got to be able to do, but you've just got to be able to move from one to the other seamlessly and back again, which is not too difficult. So we've got the nice sort of relaxing lilt, down, down, up, down, up. We're caught in a trap, just down, down, up, down, 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 up. And if you look at the sheet music, I have marked that in yellow. Sort of mustard yellow. So that's the main strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, up. And then in blue, we've got the down, down, up, which we just use at the end of each verse and also in the first line of the chorus. And it gets like this on the F and the G7. In fact, it's always the F and the G7 we do that strumming pattern on. So F to G7. And the advantage of that chord transition is that your 1st finger stays in the same place. So you can just swap your 2nd finger down a string and add your 3rd finger from the F to the G7, but your first finger does not need to move. And if you look at the two chord diagrams, you'll see that first finger on the E string on the first fret stays the same for both chords. That's actually really useful to know and remember. F, G7. So just practice that a couple of times. F, G7, F, G7. Once you can do that, you can do the strumming for this song. So basically it changes from one to the other like this. If I just do the final line of the verse. When you don't believe a word I say. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Down, down, up, down, down, up. When you don't believe a word I say. And that's really the only tricky bit in the song, making sure you get that transition nice and smooth. And like I say, it happens at the end of each verse and the beginning of the first line of the chorus as well. Let's just have a quick look at the layout of the song, and I'll give you a bit of a walkthrough part of it. So, it has a short introduction on the C chord, and we just do the main strumming pattern twice for the introduction. Then it's verse, chorus, verse 2, chorus as a bridge, and then the final verse, which I repeat and fade. The final verse is just a repeat of verse 1, and I just do that as a repeat and fade at the end. So it's a relatively easy layout to follow, and I'll give you a quick walkthrough so you can see how it fits together. So it starts on the C chord for the introduction, and then stays on the C for the first line. We're caught in a trap, moves to the F. I can't walk out to the G, because I, back to the F, love you too much to the C, baby. Stay on the C. Why can't you see to the F what you're doing to me to the G? When you don't believe on the F a word I say, then the change to the strumming, F and G7 on the down, down, up. Just be aware in that final line you've got the believe, the F chord, the change to the F chord goes in the middle of that. Let me just do the last line again. Watch for that change to the F in the middle of the word believe. When you don't believe a word I say, change now the strumming, F and G7. Then the chorus on the F, we can't go on the C, on together, E minor now, with suspicious, change to the strumming again, minds. Back to the A minor, and we can't, E minor, build our dreams, F, on suspicious minds. And at the end there, it does feel like it might change the strumming pattern again, but we actually stay on the main strumming pattern for that G and G7 for the word minds. Then it goes into verse 2, much the same, and the chorus, and then we've just got the bridge is slightly different on the A minor. Oh, let our E minor love survive to the F. I'll dry the G, tears from your eyes, A minor. Don't let her E minor, good thing die when F. Honey, you know I've G, never C. Lied to you, F. C, yeah. And a G7 with a bit more power now, yeah. Back into the verse. We're caught in a trap. And then we just do that twice and fade for the end of the song. So it's a really nice, it's a great hit. I absolutely love singing this song. I have lowered it slightly so it's not quite as high as the original, but I hope you find this a really nice version to learn. And I'll finish with a quick demo, and thanks for watching. We're caught in a trap, I can't walk out, because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me, when you don't believe a word I say? We're caught in a trap, I can't walk out, because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me, when you don't believe a word I say?